you threw me a little bit. I was expecting the splash to go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're just keeping it real. So I'm kind of sitting up on the rail, handrail here at the moment, trying to stay out of the view of the sunrise because they're really it's much better than I am. So, and this is the whole reason to do this, isn't it? To share the beautiful sunrise with anyone that might not necessarily be able to get out to it.
Well, I'm trying to bring my camera into focus for you. There we go. But no sunrise for me.
Unfortunately, it's going to pop out the top of the clouds shortly. So, and you're back in the land of the unfree at the moment.
I am. Yeah. Yeah. And they don't stop you from coming in here. You can just keep on driving. It's no problem.
Queenslanders don't want us, but we're happy to take anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know who that speaks more about.
Yeah, this is true. But the other suburbs are out of restrictions now, so at least we can pass freely between our areas.
Yeah. So we are past the hump day on the hump week.
Woo! On the downhill slope. We're on the downhill run.
Absolutely. It's all easy from here, you know, just keep on keeping on and just roll down. It'll be easy as. Yeah, I did talk about on Monday when you couldn't join us. Monday, Tuesday, about playing all in and going.
I was just hanging out there by myself.
Well, see, for a part of the time we could see you sort of going like, yeah, that lovely freeze frame that you always get. It's always perfectly timed.
Yeah.
And so I was talking about playing all in and, you know, doing 6 weeks solid. And the reason that you and I decided that we needed to do something was that we needed to recommit to ourselves to, you know, I guess playing full in on all aspects of our lives and, you know, playing when we play, not playing all the time. So you plucked a card out there that was, I think, a really, really timely one to sort of put in front of everyone. So I guess first maybe explain the scary cards.
Yeah, okay. So for those who haven't played along with us, a lot of people, probably the three that, just live then, Icebreaker deck from Best Self Company. There's like the starter deck, like we'll call it the baby deck, the nice deck. And it's like got some great conversation starters. They're icebreakers. There's some curly ones in there that do make you think. Like it is about having a better connection conversation. And Kyle and I use it with his team, our team, to build up the relationships. I use it whenever I go to clients, and especially when I'm running events where we're bringing their teams in and bringing them together. The icebreaker cards have been a game changer for them. And usually when I leave, before I like to see if people like them and then buy them for them. But I usually get a message right after going, "Oh my God, I just bought icebreaker cards for everybody." Okay. So they're a super helpful tool. But I've been working with the guys at Super Butcher a few weeks now, and I thought it's time to take things up a notch. And it's time to put the baby box aside. And I went in with the Deeper Talk. I don't know if my camera's going to focus. It wants to focus on my face and not the box, but went in with the Deeper Talk cards. Apparently I gave a couple of the boys PTSD after I redrew the cards and sent them through Messenger yesterday. These are about the deeper connections. This is what I love about them is it really brought the group together. It really helps talk about the stuff that you wouldn't normally talk about, especially in a work environment that, I don't know, even not in work environment, even friends environment, it feels like people have just gone to surface level questions like, how was your day? Good. What's going on? Busy. What's happening? Fucking Corona. Do you know what I mean? It feels like the art of conversation is almost dwindled, and we've forgotten how to do it. And the more, I'm not going on a technology rant, but the more and more there's technology, the less and less there's connected conversation. Back in our parents' day, they'd sit around the fire. and talk.
Yep.
And there's just
Yep.
less of that, and there's less modeling of what that looks like. And with deeper conversations comes an element of vulnerability, and definitely a willingness to share. So there's got to be a bit of trust as well, but also it self-inquiry. So I love this. I love the books. You know that we were talking about this yesterday. The reason why I originally ended up with the Best Self boxes was to do journaling myself, like little prompts for myself to journal. So even if you use something like this just for yourself and not to share, hugely powerful. And Kyle was rocking and crying in a corner last night after how many cards did I give you? 5?
5.
Yeah. Sent him off to do some journaling, and I think that then translated having a conversation with somebody else as well.
Yeah.
So
maybe it just transferred the PTSD though.
Oh, you just offloaded, you just handballed it. Adam handballed it to you, and you handballed it to somebody else.
So the cards are really, really good, and there's different variations of them. But so today's card that you plucked out was what element of self-care should be a non-negotiable? Did I get that right? No,
Yeah.
Doesn't want to focus on it.
My camera
there it is.
face.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
so it's under the self-awareness section.
So playing all in, you know, we've talked a lot about the self-care side of things and how super important it is. And I think it's really interesting for everyone to start thinking about what self-care are you doing at the moment? You know, what is it that you've decided to do for your self-care? And particularly if that includes the device-free time. Don't speak too loudly at that. So, but you know, is it having the result that you need, and how can you make it non-negotiable?
Yeah. Oh. I was hoping to bring the question up. There we go. I can bring it up. There we go. So this one's around self-awareness. So it's really about sitting with that and noticing them. We've talked about this before. It's almost loops in with the feedback loop from yesterday, Kyle. Like, which part of what you've been doing is really making the biggest difference to you, or like that you feel inside is the thing that you need to keep the most. Like long after we finish the 6-week solid, we were talking last night. Steve and I were talking last night. Like, even when I don't have to do 6 a.m. lives, 5 a.m. clubs stay. Because, especially for me, knowing that the 5 a.m. club was always my grit. It was my grit, and it was like this morning I did not want 5 a.m. club. I don't know why. I think I was in bed last night, and I was like,
Yep. A couple of big days, and all adds up. That was me yesterday. I was sort of feeling it yesterday, like didn't really want to be getting up. But the self-care, and this is why the self-care is so important, is it gives you the revive to be able to go back and do the grit bit.
Yeah, 100%.
I know nearly 2 years ago now, before all of this crazy virus stuff started, my non-negotiable self-care was CrossFit each day. So my morning was basically, I'd be up at somewhere around 5:15. I'd get myself organised, out the door, and I'd train for an hour. And it did a few things for me. Like it was obviously the fitness training, but it was also the community spirit that went with it, and the awesome team, the awesome crew that I trained with. I was going to say awesome ladies, but there was a few guys joined in with us at times. And, those people are still really, really important in my life. But just with coronavirus locking us out of gyms, it's made it really hard to get back to that rhythm.
For a little while, didn't you build your own gym before?
I do have my own gym at work. And so I've got a gym set up at work. And while that's good, the problem is that we're supposed to stay away from work as much as possible. So I now have a gym in at work that I can't really use as much as I'd like to as well.
Not helpful. My non-negotiable when I was in Australia was I used to always go down and sit on the beach and I had my meditation mandala. Lovely. That mortified everyone because it was a sugar skull. And they're like, you can't meditate in the middle of a skull. And I'm like, yes, I can. It's delicious. That was my non-negotiable. That was my time to no phones, no device. Like go and, or every now and then if I felt like I needed a guided meditation, I'd take my phone for that. But I'd go and sit in the middle of my mandala and I'd take my journal and I'd watch the sunrise and I'd journal. And that was when I was back in Australia. When I was overseas, I still would get up and I'd go and sit on usually the balcony of my room, or if I was at Vision Villa, we had a meditation platform at the top that you could see the sunrise over the rice paddies, and that was my non-negotiable. No one bothered me then. Yeah. But it's interesting.
I probably still haven't got myself back to a rhythm or a routine. It's still something. I guess at the moment, my non-negotiable each day is my 6 a.m. lives, because otherwise Jay's going to beat me up.
Well, the stream will go down. There'll be nobody here.
And I'm thoroughly looking forward to being able to get back to my CrossFit, because I am missing it, and I think I'm missing the community as much as anything. And so I'm fingers crossed. Things opening very soon. I should be able to get back to it. In a new gym, though, in my new location, but with my old coach, which is absolutely amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
Wow, that's happy.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. I'm actually really excited about that.
That's amazing.
Things come when they need to come.
Yeah. When the student is ready, the teacher arrives, yeah?
Yeah. Dylan would be over the moon to hear us saying that.
It's funny because I literally was having a thought bubble on, must have been Tuesday, going, I need to find a Clayton. I need to find another Clayton and get back into that, especially because I don't know if did I tell you when Charlotte's other client, one of Charlotte's other clients, is heading to the Maldives. Obviously, when everything's permitting, and she's got a couple of entrepreneurs on a surfing trip, and I'm like, I want to come. She goes, there's one spot. Said, if it's going to be mine, I need a surf coach like stat.
Damn it.
And she's been getting skateboard lessons recently as well. So I was like, okay, I think I need to get back into the practice of having a surf coach, because they'd make me out there in that shit. Clayton would have us out there in that shit for sure. They had 2 pool spots out there yesterday. That's the grit though. Ugh.
That's the grit. We were talking about that about the kids yesterday. Is just get out there and do it. Actually,
what's his name? George. When we just pulled up, we're like, George is keen. Steve said he can't, like, he remembers frothing like that as a kid, but George he's
out there now, and
what is he, 60 something?
It's 2 foot and onshore. He's 60. He's the only soul.
You have to talk louder.
He's the only soul out there.
Only soul.
The only soul. There's mist coming off the water. There's a rain squall that just went through.
Every morning.
It's not good. He's out there.
He's morning. Gritty as fuck. He is like, It's been, some mornings has been like so bad, and he's suiting up and he's off. He goes on his own.
He's thumbs up. He wants to heads out with a smile.
Yeah. He said he wants to learn to surf.
Nice.
He decided like.
He decided at the beginning of this year that he'd always wanted to surf. So now he's going to do it, because there's no time like the present. And he's doing it every single day. He's out there right now, just in the middle of nowhere on his own.
Oh. Yeah, there's some grit, determination. He's got the passion.
Nice.
Oh, George is going to achieve the impossible for sure.
Absolutely. And, he's got all the other elements to it. There's the skills challenge balance. He's got the, he's got the autonomy. Everyone's away from him. Yeah,
Yep.
he's got all of the elements of that.
He's
for him to
autonomous as
actually
fuck right now.
succeed. But he's going to succeed because he's got all the elements that he needs.
Yeah. And he's stoked. Like, he comes in like, afterwards and he's like, morning. It's like, oh my God, dude. Yeah. So good. So good.
So today's challenge, everyone, for you to go away and think about is, what element of self-care is really lighting you up, is really having a positive impact, and what are you going to do to make sure it becomes your non-negotiable in your life? So how can you make sure that you always get that self-care, that fun time?
Yeah. Love it. Into
Tough
the
question.
chat. Let's all know. Tough question. Well, you maybe put all the tough questions back in the box, let's be honest.
I did. We'll save them for another day.
Awesome, guys.
Have an
We'll see
awesome
you
day, everyone.
for Friday tomorrow.
Yay.
Woo. Bye.